Hello, and welcome back to Sleep Geography, your gentle companion for drifting into dreams through the world's most soothing landscapes. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight, to this quiet corner of the internet, where stories unfold like a soft blanket over your thoughts. Whether you're curling up in bed after a long day, or simply seeking a moment of peace amid the hum of life, this is your space to unwind. Take a deep breath now, and let yourself settle in. Adjust your pillows just so, dim the lights if you haven't already, and allow your body to sink into the mattress beneath you. Feel the subtle rise and fall of your chest. The cool sheets against your skin, everything easing, softening, inviting rest. Tonight, we're embarking on a journey that requires nothing from you but your presence, your willingness to let the words carry you away. If it feels right, pause for just a second and drop a comment below. Where in the world are you listening from tonight? A cozy apartment in Tokyo, a hammock in Bali, or perhaps right here under the same stars we're about to imagine? Your stories connect us, like invisible threads across the globe, and speaking softly of our destination tonight, our minds will drift to a land of sun-bleached islands and the gentle whisper of the Aegean Sea, where the air hums with ancient warmth and the horizon stretches into eternal calm. It's a place that evokes the quiet joy of rediscovering simplicity, the soul's soft sigh of homecoming. If these journeys help lull you into sleep, consider subscribing. It's a simple way to join our little family of dreamers, with new geographies arriving like whispers each week. No rush though, just know you're always welcome here. Now, close your eyes if you'd like, or let them rest softly on the screen. Let the words begin to weave their spell. You are arriving. You are suspended high above the world, carried on a current of air so light it feels like a sigh from the earth itself. The journey has been long, but effortless. A slow descent from distant skies, where clouds part like forgotten veils. Below you, the sea unfolds. It is the Aegean, vast and unhurried, its surface a mirror of deepest azure, calm as the breath held in anticipation of dawn. You feel the first pull of gravity, gentle, like a hand guiding you downward. There is no haste here, only arrival. As you draw nearer, the water reveals its secrets in whispers. It shimmers under the late afternoon sun, each ripple catching light like scattered diamonds on silk. The colour deepens from turquoise near the edges to an indigo heart, endless and inviting. You sense its cool embrace waiting below, a promise of refreshment after the warmth of the day. Islands begin to emerge from this blue expanse, scattered like thoughts half remembered in a dream. They are the Cyclades, sun-bleached and timeless, their white forms rising soft against the horizon. You tilt ever so slightly, carried by the wind's subtle breath. The largest island comes into view first, a gentle curve of land, its cliffs worn smooth by centuries of waves. You see the villages perched there, cubes of whitewashed stone stacked like children's blocks, their blue-shuttered windows winking in the light. Roofs of terracotta catch the sun's glow, warm and muted, as if baked from the earth's own patience. You feel a quiet expansion in your chest, the vastness of this vista seeping into your bones. It is not overwhelming. It is homecoming. Lower now, the air thickens with familiarity. You breathe it in, the warm, dry caress against your skin, carrying the faint tang of salt from the sea below. It mingles with something wilder, earthier, the scent of oregano clinging to sun-baked rocks, its sharp green notes softened by the breeze. Time joins it, a subtle undercurrent, herbal and ancient, as if the hills themselves are exhaling memories of summers long past. You inhale deeply, and the world slows, your shoulders loosen. The day's tensions dissolve into this aromatic haze, leaving only serenity. The sun hangs low, a brilliant orb of gold just kissing the water's edge. Its light bathes everything in a honeyed warmth, turning the sea into a field of sparkling jewels. Waves lap lazily at the island's shores, each one a soft murmur, retreating with reluctance. You watch as shadows begin to stretch from the cliffs, long and languid, painting the white walls in shades of lavender and rose. The quality of this light, it is alive, almost tangible, wrapping around you like a shawl woven from forgotten myths. You feel its gentle heat on your face, even from this height, inviting you to linger. As you descend further, the islands multiply in your vision. Santorini appears, its caldera a crescent scar of beauty, black sands fringed by foam-white surf. Mykonos follows, windmills standing sentinel like ancient guardians, their sails still against the fading day. Each one is a punctuation in the sea's endless sentence. Paros with its marble quarries gleaming like veins of moonlight, Naxos crowned by its solitary mountain, a green sentinel rising from azure depths. You sense their interconnectedness, threads of history binding them across the water. Millennia of sailors' tales, philosophers' whispers, lovers' sighs, all held in this serene tableau. Your body eases into the descent, weightless still as if the air cradles you. The grand vista expands outward, horizon meeting sky in a seamless blur. There are no edges here, only flow. You notice the play of light on the water's surface, tiny fractals of gold dancing where the sun dips lower, casting elongated paths toward the islands. It is as if the sea is reaching out, fingers of light extended in welcome. You feel a profound stillness settle within, the kind that comes from beholding something eternal. Greece unfolds beneath you, not as a destination, but as a state of being, warm, expansive, alive with quiet history. The scents grow richer now, layered like pages in an old book. Salt lingers on your tongue, crisp and clean, evoking the spray of waves against sun-warmed stone. Oregano rises again, wild and untamed, blooming from cracks in the rocky soil far below. You imagine it there, clusters of purple flowers nodding in the breeze, their leaves releasing fragrance with every rustle. Time weaves through, its earthiness grounding the air, a reminder of the land's deep roots. Together they form a bouquet carried on thermals rising to meet you. Breathe it in once more, let it fill your lungs, your thoughts. The world below sharpens yet remains soft at the edges, inviting without demand. You're closer now, the island's details etching themselves into your awareness. The white of the buildings glows with an inner luminescence, as if infused with the sun's own essence. Narrow paths wind between them, threads of ochre dust leading to hidden coves. Olive groves dot the hillsides, silver leaves flickering like schools of tiny fish in the light. You sense the age of this place, the weight of temples half buried in earth, the echo of lyres strummed under starlit skies. It is not spoken, it is felt, a vibration in the air that hums with warmth and wisdom. Your heart slows to match its rhythm, steady and unhurried. The sea cools softly, its azure depths a canvas of tranquility. From this vantage you see schools of fish darting like silver arrows beneath the surface, undisturbed by the world above. A lone sail catches the wind far out, a triangle of white against blue, moving with the grace of a breath. The water's calm is profound, its surface unbroken save for the occasional sigh of a swell, rolling in from some distant horizon. You feel drawn to it, not with urgency, but with the pull of kinship. This is the Aegean, cradle of legends, keeper of silences, its beauty serene, its history a gentle undercurrent. As the sun slips a fraction lower, the light transforms. Shadows pool in the valleys between hills, cool pockets of indigo amid the gold. The white islands take on a rosy hue, blushing under the day's farewell. You watch the sparkle on the water intensify, 1,000 points of light winking in conspiracy. It is brilliant yet soft, this late afternoon glow, wrapping the landscape in a veil of warmth that soothes the soul. You feel it on your skin, a subtle embrace, easing the last remnants of wakefulness. The air too warms further, dry and enveloping, carrying those scents like a lover's promise. Descent continues, imperceptible now, as if you are merging with the Vista itself. The Cyclades spread before you like a map drawn in dreams, dots of white on blue, each one a world unto itself. You sense their individuality, the rugged spine of one, the fertile curves of another, yet together they form a constellation, scattered yet harmonious. Ancient eyes once gazed upon this same scene, from triremes slicing the waves, from olive-shaded groves. You inherit that gaze, that quiet awe. It fills you, expansive and serene, washing away the fragments of the day. The scents persist, a constant companion. Oregano's bite softens in the warmth, blending with thyme's subtle sweetness, a herbal symphony played on the wind. Salt underscores it all, a mineral note that speaks of depths and distances travelled. You draw it deep, letting it anchor you in this moment. The air feels alive with possibility, yet utterly at rest. No rush of clouds, no clamour of waves crashing. Only this, the slow unfurling of grease beneath you, inviting your senses to linger. Light shifts again, the sun's arc painting the sea in strokes of amber and rose. The azure deepens to violet at the edges, where sky and water blur. Islands stand etched against this palette, their white forms luminous, almost ethereal. You feel the grandeur of it all, not in scale alone, but in the quiet profundity. This vista is a poem without words, a history etched in light and stone. Your breath aligns with its pulse, in and out, slow as the tides retreat. Closer still, details bloom like flowers in morning dew. A cluster of windmills on a distant bluff, their blades frozen in elegant repose. Cypress trees sentinel the paths, dark arrows pointing to the sea. Bougainvillea spills over walls in cascades of pink, silent and vivid. You sense the land's warmth radiating upward, a subtle heat that matches the sun's embrace. The air carries it all, the dry earthiness, the herbal whisper, the salt-kissed promise. It envelops you, body and mind in layers of calm. You're arriving fully now, the vista no longer distant but intimate. The sea's sparkle resolves into individual waves, each tipped with foam like lace on a gown. The island's whites vary, some pure as fresh linen, others softened by time to cream and pearl. Late afternoon light gilds their edges, casting halos that blur into the sky. You feel the ancient beauty seep into you, a warmth that speaks of endurance, of beauty born from stone and sea. There is history here, layered like sediment, the footfalls of gods in myth, the quiet lives of fishermen at dawn. It hums softly, without demand, inviting you to simply be. The scents evolve with your nearness. Oregano sharpens, as if crushed underfoot on a hillside path. Time lingers low, earthy and persistent, grounding the flight of your thoughts. Salt weaves through, a thread of the infinite, reminding you of the sea's vast, calm heart. Breathe them together. Let them fill the spaces within, easing muscles you hadn't noticed were taut. The air is dry, yes, but alive, carrying fragments of this place into your very core. Sun dips lower, its brilliance softening to a diffused glow. The water responds, its azure turning to a velvet blue, sprinkled with the last fierce sparkles. Shadows lengthen across the islands, pooling in coves like ink in a well. You watch a single gull wheel overhead, its cry muted by distance, a note in the symphony of silence. The vista expands yet again, horizon curving gently, as if the earth itself is curving toward rest. You feel that pull, that serene invitation to settle into the scene. Greece reveals its warmth in this light, the way stone holds the day's heat, releasing it slowly into the evening. You imagine it underfoot, the subtle crunch of path, the give of sand near shore. But you remain aloft for now, savouring the overview, the grand sweep. The Cyclades lie scattered, a archipelago of peace, each island a chapter in an unending story. Santorini's cliffs plunge like folded silk into the caldera. Mykonos' shores fringe with silvered pebbles. It is beauty without artifice, history without weight, only serene presence. Your descent slows, as if time itself hesitates. The air thickens with scent, oregano's wild tang, time's quiet depth, salt's crisp eternity. They mingle in your breath, a potion for repose. Light plays its final notes, the sun a low ember, painting the sea in gradients of gold to purple. Sparkles dance, fainter now, like fireflies bidding goodnight. You feel the expansive calm settle deeper, a tide within matching the one below. This is arrival, not an end, but a beginning in stillness. The vista holds you, gentle and vast. Islands dot the blue like breaths on glass, white against azure, timeless in their simplicity. You sense the ancient warmth, the gods who walked these shores, the poets who sang them. It is not loud, it is a whisper in the wind, a warmth in the light. Your body lightens further, thoughts drifting like clouds over the sea. Breathe, linger. The world below waits, serene and open. As height diminishes, details sharpen without sharpness. A fishing boat bobs in a hidden bay, its hull a speck of red on blue. Olive branches sway, silver undersides flashing in the breeze. The white cubes of villages cluster like gatherings of old friends, blue doors ajar to the evening. You feel the air's dry kiss, scented and alive, carrying you toward touch. Oregano, thyme, salt. They are the essence, the invitation to immerse. Sun's light now veils the landscape in amber haze, softening edges, blending sea and sky. The azure deepens, a pool of tranquility reflecting the soul's quiet. Sparkles fade to a subtle gleam, the water's calm unbroken. You are part of it now, the vista's expanse folding around you. Warmth permeates, from stone, from air, from history's gentle hand. Serenity blooms within, expansive as the horizon. Lower still, the scents envelop fully. Oregano rises like a memory stirred, sharp yet soothing. Time grounds it, a root in fertile earth. Salt binds them, a bridge to the infinite sea. Inhale slowly. Exhale the world's clamour. This air is yours now, warm and dry, a balm for wandering minds. The grand vista lingers in your sight. Cyclades scattered, white on blue, under late sun's brilliant caress. Islands breathe with ancient rhythm, cliffs etched by time, groves heavy with peace. You feel their warmth, their serene beauty, drawing you in without force. Light sparkles one last time, a farewell glitter on waves. Shadows embrace the land, soft as dusk's first sigh. Arrival nears completion, yet the vista expands eternally in memory. Greece holds you in its palm, azure sea, bleached stone, scented air. You are here, fully, in warmth and light. Rest into it. Let the scene cradle you, slow and deliberate as the world below becomes your dream's foundation. The sun yields now, its glow a lingering promise. Water mirrors it, azure to gold, calm as held breath. Island stands sentinel, white forms aglow, whispering of histories etched in silence. You sense the pull of earth, gentle as a lullaby. Scents swirl, oregano's wild call, time's steady heart, salt's endless song. They weave through you, loosening threads of wakefulness. From this height, once suspended, now intimate, the vista is yours. Cyclades unfold like pages turned by wind, each island a verse in serenity's poem. Late light bathes them, brilliant and warm, making stone hum with life. Sparkles on sea fade to memory, yet the calm endures, deep and unyielding. You feel the ancient beauty resonate. Temples' ruins softened by time, shores kissed by azure waves. It is expansive, this Greece, history a warm undercurrent, beauty a serene exhale. Your thoughts slow to match, drifting on air scented with earth and sea. Descent eases to stillness. The air holds you, dry and fragrant. oregano sharp as first light, thyme deep as roots, salt crisp as dawn's edge. Breathe it whole. Let it fill the quiet spaces, inviting sleep's gentle tide. The grand vista imprints, sun-bleached islands on calm azure, light's warm day. Your feet touch the earth now, soft as a secret shared between stone and soul. The ground yields slightly, warm from the day's lingering kiss, and you stand amid the quiet geography of this island. It is arid, yes, but alive in its restraint, a landscape sculpted by wind and wave over eons, where every form speaks of patient endurance. Rocks rise around you, sun-baked and ochre-hued, their surfaces etched with fine cracks like the lines of an old hand. You reach out, fingers brushing the stone. It is rough, textured with the grit of time, yet warmed through, holding the sun's heat like a memory cradled close. The air settles around you, dry and enveloping, carrying that familiar weave of scents. Oregano's faint sharpness, thyme's earthy hush, salt's distant echo. But here, on the land's spine, the herbs claim their domain. They cling to the rocks in stubborn clusters, low and unyielding, their leaves small and silver-edged, dusted with the fine powder of sun and soil. You kneel slowly, the motion deliberate, and cup a sprig of oregano in your palm. Its fragrance releases, wild and green, a burst contained within the arid hush. The landscape stretches beyond, rolling hills of scrub and stone, barren yet beautiful, colours shifting from tawny gold to shadowed rust under the late light. You walk now, steps measured, feeling the earth's subtle give beneath your feet. The ground is a mosaic of textures, smooth pebbles worn by ancient rains, jagged outcrops thrusting upward like forgotten altars. Each one bears the mark of the sun, faded to a bleached cream where exposed or veined with quartz that catches the fading glow. The arid expanse invites observation, not conquest. You pause at a low ridge, gazing out. Hills undulate gently, their forms rounded by wind's patient hand, dotted with the hardy green of herbs that defy the dryness. It is geography of quiet strength, where water's absence has honed the land to essentials, rock, root, resilience. The sun's warmth persists, a soft pressure on your skin, drawing you deeper into the scene. You feel it on your arms, your neck, a radiant blanket, not scorching but sustaining, as if the light itself is breathing life into the stone. Ancient boulders nearby, larger than you, absorb this glow, their surfaces textured with lichen in pale greens and greys, soft as whispered histories. You lean against one, the contact immediate and grounding. Heat seeps through your clothes, steady and profound, connecting you to the earth's core. This is the warm ancient pulse, stone warmed by millennia of skies, offering its solace without demand. Further along the path, the landscape reveals its colours in layers. The rocks predominate, a palette of earth tones, deep siennas where shadows pool, warm umbers baking in the open. Scattered amid them, the herbs add flecks of vitality. Oregano's dusty purple blooms, thyme's muted grey-green foliage, resilient against the aridity. You notice how the light plays across this canvas, late afternoon rays slanting low, casting long shadows that soften the rugged edges. The air hums with stillness, broken only by the faint rustle of leaves in a desultory breeze. You breathe it in, the sense grounding you further, tying scent to sight, touched to the vast, unhurried lay of the land. Descent comes gradual, following a faint trail worn by goats or wanderers long past. The arid hills give way to a shallow valley, where the rocks thin and soil emerges, sparse but fertile in its way. Here the textures shift, looser gravel underfoot crunching softly with each step, interspersed with patches of hard-packed earth, cracked like parched lips awaiting rain. You feel the sun's touch evolve, warmer now in the sheltered dip radiating from the ground upward, enveloping your legs in a subtle heat. It is intimate, this warmth, drawing your awareness downward, rooting you in the geography's quiet embrace. An ancient olive grove appears ahead, heralded by the flicker of silver leaves. The trees stand in no rigid order, but as if placed by some forgotten hand. Gnarled trunks twisting skyward, branches sprawling like elders sharing tales. You approach the first one slowly, hand extended. The bark is rough, furrowed deep with age, textured like the wrinkles of a face etched by laughter and loss. Silver leaves tremble lightly, their undersides flashing pale in the breeze, a quiet shimmer against the deepening sky. You stand beneath the canopy, the air cooler here, shaded, yet the sun filters through in dappled patterns, warming spots on your shoulders, your hair. The grove extends, a small forest of endurance, each tree a testament to the land's arid grace. Trunks bulge with knots and scars, olive wood dark and resilient, bearing the weight of centuries. You trace a branch, feeling the smooth twist of it, the way it curves as if listening to the wind. Fruits hang sparse this late in the season, small and green, promising oil from hardship. The ground beneath is carpeted in fallen leaves, dry and crisp, releasing a faint nutty scent that mingles with the ever-present herbs. You sit against a trunk, the wood's warmth pressing into your back, sun-soaked, ancient, a bridge between earth and sky. From this seat in the grove, the landscape unfolds anew. The arid hills encircle you, their rugged forms softened by distance, rocks glowing faintly in the sun's retreat. Colours deepen, the herbs' greens turning to bruised silvers, stones to embers of red and gold. You feel the sun's hand on the ancient stone nearby, a low wall, perhaps remnant of some old terrace, its surface baked smooth, textured with the patina of time. Your palm rests there, absorbing the heat, steady as a heartbeat. It connects you, this touch, to the warm earth beneath. The way the sun has imprinted itself on every curve, every crevice, fostering life in quiet defiance. Wander deeper into the grove, steps muffled by leaf litter. The trees vary in stature, some squat and broad, roots clawing visibly from the soil, others tall and spare, branches reaching like supplicant arms. Silver leaves rustle, a soft susurrus, their texture fine as spun wire when you brush against them. The air here is layered, olive's subtle bitterness weaving with time's earthiness, oregano's wild edge fading into the background. Sunlight slants through gaps, warming your face in intermittent caresses, each ray a reminder of the day's gentle dominion. You pause, eyes closing briefly, letting the warmth seep into your eyelids, your cheeks, serene, unyielding. The geography speaks through these trees, their shapes a map of survival. Gnarled limbs arch over dry gullies, where rocks peek through sparse grass, textured rough and unpolished. Colours play in the leaves, silver on top, a deeper grey beneath, shifting with the light's angle. You notice a single olive, fallen at your feet, smooth, ovoid, its skin taut and cool against the warm ground. Picking it up, you roll it in your fingers, feeling the subtle give, the promise of sustenance from arid soil. The sun warms your hand around it, blending textures, fruit's softness against stone's enduring heat. Beyond the grove's edge, the land rises again, rugged and unadorned. Sun-baked rocks dominate, their forms angular yet softened by erosion. Boulders balanced precariously, slabs flat as forgotten tables. You climb a short incline, breath even, feeling the pull of earth underfoot. Gravel shifts, small stones rolling like whispers, their colours muted, greys veined with quartz, browns flecked with iron red. Hardy herbs punctuate the ascent, thyme in low mounds, its leaves needle fine, releasing scent with every brush of knee or hand. The air dries further, carrying this fragrance upward, mingling with the salt-tinged breeze from the unseen sea. At the ridge's crest, the sun's warmth crests with you. A full embrace now, bathing the arid expanse in golden residue. You stand, arms loose at sides, letting it envelop you. The landscape below is a study in textures, the sharp bite of rock against boot, the velvety dust of paths, the spiky resilience of herbage. Colours hold steady, ochres and umbers punctuated by the occasional vivid green of a surviving shrub. Ancient stone walls crisscross the hills, their surfaces warmed through, inviting touch. You rest a hand on one, fingers tracing mortarless joins, feeling the sun's stored heat radiate back, connecting you to hands that placed these stones long ago. Descent turns toward the sea's pull, the path winding through more arid reaches. The ground textures evolve, looser scree giving way to compacted earth, studded with low rocks like stepping stones in a river of dust. Herbs grow bolder here, oregano clusters larger, their purple tips nodding in the faint wind. You inhale, the scent sharp and immediate, grounding your steps. The sun dips lower, its light filtering through haze, warming the air to a tangible thickness. It brushes your skin like a sigh, drawing sweat in fine beads that cool instantly in the dry breeze. A cycle of warmth and release, mirroring the land's own rhythm. A shift in the terrain announces the cove's nearness. The rugged hills soften at the edges, rocks tumbling toward the shore in chaotic yet harmonious piles. You feel the air change first, salt sharpening, carrying the sea's cool undertone beneath the herbal veil. The path narrows, flanked by sun-baked boulders, their textures honeycombed with wind's patient carving. Warmth lingers on them, a subtle glow as light fades, inviting your palm to linger, to absorb the ancient heat. This stone, forged in fire and cooled by waves, holds stories in its cracks, fossils of shells, veins of crystal, all warmed by the sun's eternal gaze. The cove reveals itself gradually, a secluded fold in the island's flank. You crest a final rise, and there it lies, quiet, untouched, a secret cupped by cliffs. The beach is pebbled, a mosaic of smoothed stones in greys and whites, blues and greens, washed clean by the sea's gentle insistence. You step down, feet sinking slightly into the give of larger pebbles, their textures rounded and cool under the warming sun. The water edges in, impossibly clear, turquoise deepening to aquamarine where it shallows, then to profound indigo at the drop-off. It laps with a rhythm born of calm, each wave a soft advance and retreat, polishing the shore anew. Stand at the water's verge, the sun's warmth now shared with the sea's subtle chill. Pebbles shift underfoot, a faint chatter like distant murmurs, their colours vivid up close. Veined marbles, polished jaspers, each one a fragment of the island's heart. You bend, selecting one smooth as an egg, its surface warmed by sand and sun, textured faintly with the sea's kiss. The water invites, clear to the sandy bed below, where fronds of seaweed sway in underwater currents, greens muted and serene. Turquoise hues layer the shallows, light refracting through, turning the sea into liquid gemstone. Calm, translucent, holding the sky's reflection without distortion. The cove's seclusion amplifies the quiet geography. Cliffs rise on either side, rugged faces of layered rock, schist and limestone, textured with horizontal strata like pages in a closed book. Sun warms their surfaces, casting a glow that softens the aridity above. You feel it from afar, that radiant pull, drawing you to trace a path along the base where boulders lounge in haphazard repose. Hardy herbs find footing even here. Thyme tufts in crevices, their fragrance mingling with salt's crisp edge. The air is a blend now, earth's dry warmth meeting sea's cool whisper, balanced in perfect hush. Wade into the shallows, deliberate and slow. The water receives you, turquoise enveloping ankles, cool against sun-warmed skin, a contrast that soothes rather than startles. Pebbles give way to finer sand beneath, silty and yielding, textured smooth by tides. The clarity astonishes. You see every grain, every ripple's path, the sea's bed a tapestry of pale corals and shell fragments. Sunlight pierces the surface, warming the water slightly, creating pockets of temperate embrace around your calves. It is gentle, this immersion, connecting you to the sea's ancient flow, the way it shapes the land, erodes the rock, all in serene persistence. From within the cove, the landscape circles protectively. The arid hills recede, their rugged forms a distant silhouette, rocks baking in residual light. The olive grove lies hidden over the rise, its silver leaves a memory of inland warmth. Here, textures dominate. The pebble beach's varied smoothness, the water's liquid silk against flesh, the cliff faces' cragged embrace. Colours bloom, turquoise sea against white foam, grey stones laced with blue veins, the sun's gold threading through it all. You feel the warm sun on ancient stone anew, even in this watery threshold, cliffs absorbing light, radiating it back in subtle waves of heat. Sit now on the pebbled shore, legs extended into the shallows. The sun descends toward your crown, its warmth a crown of light, easing tension from scalp to toes. Pebbles cradle your form, each one a unique texture, some glassy smooth, others faintly ridged like waves frozen in stone. The sea's turquoise laps higher with each breath, clear as thought, revealing submerged worlds, a starfish's slow crawl, pebbles half buried in sand. Salt scents the air, deepened by proximity, blending with faint herbal traces wafted from the hills. This is the lay of the land meeting sea, grounded, observational, a quiet union of earth and wave. The cove holds time in suspension. You watch the water's colours shift with the sun's arc, turquoise brightening to emerald where light pools, fading to sapphire in shadows. Textures layer the scene. The sea's fluid caress, the beach's granular nestle, distant rocks unyielding forms. Warmth from the sun permeates, touching ancient stone in the cliffs, drawing forth a subtle steam of heat that mingles with the breeze. You lean back, hands splayed on pebbles, feeling their collective warmth rise, stored solar gift from the island's core. Explore the cove's perimeter, step slow along the tide line. Larger stones emerge, boulders textured with barnacle clusters, their surfaces a mix of slick and rough, warmed unevenly by sun and shade. The sea retreats slightly, exposing wet pebbles that gleam like jewels, colours intensified, deep indigos, sunlit whites. Turquoise water pools in depressions, still and mirror-like, reflecting the cliff's stratified faces. You dip a toe, feeling the cool resurgence, balanced by the sun's overhead warmth on your back. This sensory weave, cool depth, warm height, anchors you in the geography's peace. Return to the olive grove's echo, imagination bridging cove to inland. The arid landscape calls faintly, its sun-baked rocks a counterpoint to the sea's fluidity. You envision the gnarled trees from here, silver leaves catching the same light that sparkles on waves. Textures resonate, bark's deep furrows akin to cliff strata, herbs' spiky resilience mirroring pebble grit. The sun unites them, its warmth a common thread, on ancient stone of grove and shore fostering this quiet, connected world. Sun lowers further, stretching shadows across the cove. The turquoise deepens, edges tinged violet, clarity undiminished. Pebbles cool gradually, retaining pockets of warmth where sun lingered longest. You lie back fully now, the beach a bed of varied textures, smooth ovals pressing gently, sharper edges avoided by instinct. Air cools, but the sun's farewell heat clings to skin, to stone, to the land's very breath. Scents evolve, salt dominant, laced with faint thyme from the heights, a reminder of the arid embrace encircling this haven. The rugged island asserts its presence even in seclusion. From the cove you sense the hill's arid spine, rocks textured by relentless sun, herbs hardy and fragrant, holding ground against the sea's pull. Colours hold in Twilight's approach, ochres fading to dusks, turquoise sea a constant blue heart. Warmth from ancient stone radiates still, a subtle undercurrent, connecting cove to grove, shore to summit. You feel it in your bones, this grounded serenity, the earth's warm ancient form yielding to touch, inviting repose. Drift along the water's edge once more, fingers trailing in turquoise shallows. The liquid texture flows cool and silken, parting around digits like silk unspooling. Pebbles below shift, their submerged colours vivid, translucent greens, opalescent whites. Sun warms your arm extended, a balance of elements that soothes the soul. The cove's quiet geography envelops, cliffs' steadfast textures, beaches' intimate nestle, sea's endless clarity. No haste, only this slow immersion, senses attuned to shapes, colours, the warm pulse of stone beneath it all. As light wanes, the olive grove summons in memory, gnarled trunks textured like the land's own veins, silver leaves a shimmer against arid skies. You carry its warmth here, sun on ancient stone echoing in the cove's rocks. The landscape layers itself in your awareness, rugged hills baked resilience, herbs fragrant tenacity, sea's turquoise serenity. Textures blend, rough to smooth, warm to cool, in a tapestry of peace. Breathe the mingled air, let it settle, grounding you deeper into Greece's quiet lay. The sun's arc completes its curve, warmth yielding to a softer glow. Turquoise water holds the light, reflecting it back in diffused sparkles, clarity a window to submerged sands. Pebbled beach cradles you still, textures a lullaby of stone against skin. From afar, the arid expanse watches, sun-baked rocks cooling slowly, herbs folding into dusk, olive groves gnarled forms silhouettes of endurance. You feel the connection, warm and ancient, earth to sea in gentle harmony. Lingering in the cove, observation deepens. Shapes emerge in the cliffs, undulating layers like waves petrified, textured with fissures where herbs take root. Colours mute, greys to indigos, turquoise to twilight blue, yet beauty persists, serene and unadorned. Sun's residual warmth touches the higher stones, a final caress, drawing forth the land's quiet exhale. You sit, knees drawn, hands on warmed pebbles, letting the geography's pulse sync with your own, slow, deliberate at rest. The island's arid heart beats through it all, rocks rugged and sun-kissed, herbs hardy in their scented vigil, olives gnarled witnesses to time. Here in the cove it softens to turquoise embrace, pebbled textures yielding to water's flow. Warmth from ancient stone bridges them, a constant grounding thread. You absorb it, body easing into the scene, thoughts drifting on the slow rhythm of waves. Night's approach veils the edges, but the lay remains vivid. Turquoise lingers in memory's eye, clear and calm, pebbles' colours etched in touch. Grove's silver a whisper of inland peace. The sun's warmth fades, yet imprints, on skin, on stone, in the air's subtle hold. This quiet geography cradles you, shapes and textures a map to repose, connecting warm earth to gentle sea in eternal serene flow. You rise slowly, reluctant yet content, the cove's textures clinging faintly, pebble dust on soles, water's cool kiss on ankles. The rugged path upward calls, arid hills waiting with their baked stones and herbal hush. Sun's last light warms your ascent, ancient rocks radiating farewell heat. The landscape unfolds again, colours deepening to nocturnal tones, shapes softening in shadow. Grounded here, in this observational peace, you feel the island's essence, warm, textured, timeless. Olive grove welcomes return, trees standing sentinel in half-light, gnarled trunks textured deep, silver leaves now muted gleams. You pause among them, hand on bark, warmth still present from day's store. The arid surround frames it. Rocks scattered like thoughts, herbs fragrance and nightcap. Sea's turquoise echo fades, replaced by earth's steady embrace. Shapes, colours, textures weave tighter, lulling senses toward stillness. From grove to cove and back, the geography circles complete. Rugged aridity, pebbled serenity, gnarled endurance, all warmed by sun on ancient stone. You settle beneath an olive bough, ground firm and textured with fallen fruit. Air cools, scents consolidate. Thyme, salt, olive's faint oil. The lay of the land holds you, observational and profound, a quiet anchor in Greece's vast calm. Shadows lengthen fully now, enveloping the arid folds. Rocks retain whispers of warmth, textures cooling to the touch, rough edges smoothing in perception. Herbs fold inward, their hardy forms a silhouette against the emerging stars. You feel the sun's legacy in the stone beneath, a subtle heat rising through soil, connecting you to the earth's warm core. This is the quiet geography's gift, grounded presence, sensory repose. The cove calls one last time in thought, turquoise clarity, pebbled mosaic, cliff's stratified hush. Its shapes complement the inland's rugged lines, colours a counterpoint to ochre hills. Warmth unites, sun on stone, sea on shore, in serene observation. You exhale, body aligning with the land's slow breath, textures imprinting like a dream's soft outline. Night settles, but the lay endures in your awareness. Arid landscape's textures, baked rock, fragrant herb, blend with grove's gnarled grace, cove's liquid silk. Colours fade to monochrome peace, shapes to comforting forms. Sun's warmth lingers phantom-like on ancient stone and skin alike. Here, in this grounded expanse, serenity deepens, inviting sleep's gentle tide. You are held by it all, the warm ancient earth, the gentle sea's fringe. Rugged hills cradle the cove, olives sentinel the paths, turquoise waters polish the stones, textures layer your repose, smooth pebble, rough bark, silken wave. Observation yields to immersion, slow and complete. Rest now, in Greece's quiet geography, shapes eternal, colours fading to dream, warmth a constant lull. The island breathes with you, arid yet alive, textured with time's patient hand. Sun-baked rocks cool to twilight's touch, herbs release final scents into the air. Grove's silver leaves stir faintly, gnarled roots delving deep. Cove's turquoise gleams under moon's rise, pebbles whispering secrets to the tide. You feel the sun's echo on ancient stone, a bridge across the senses, warm, inviting, serene. Drift deeper into this lay, body heavy with peace, shapes resolve to softness, hills undulations, trees twists, seas curves, colours dissolve to inner light, textures to memory's caress. The geography connects, earth's warmth to sea's calm, in observational hush. No more to seek, only to be, grounded in Greece's timeless form. Warmth fades fully, yet the ancient stone remembers. You lie amid it. The land's textures a final embrace. Gravel's grit, leaf's silk, water's distant sigh. Quiet geography envelops, slow as breath, leading towards sleep's shore. Here, in shapes and colours woven serene, you arrive at rest. The grand Vista imprints, sun-bleached islands on calm azure, light's warm dance, air's whispered secrets. You are arrived, enveloped in Greece's serene embrace, warm, timeless, at rest. You are held by it all, the warm ancient earth, the gentle sea's fringe. Rugged hills cradle the cove, olives sentinel the paths, turquoise waters polish the stones, textures layer your repose, smooth pebble, rough bark, silken wave. Observation yields to immersion, slow and complete. Rest now in Greece's quiet geography, shapes eternal, colours fading to dream, warmth a constant lull. And as the land settles into your bones, its forms whisper of those who walked it before, hands touching the same stone, eyes beholding the same light. The physical world softens into memory, like a tide receding to reveal shells of time. You feel the shift, subtle as breath, from Earth's present hush to history's serene echo, peaceful, artistic, philosophical, all sun-drenched in the island's timeless heart. The path from the grove leads upward, steps light on earth still warm from day's imprint. Leaves rustle faintly, silver glimpses through branches arching like welcoming arms. The air carries the grove's nutty residue, mingled with a drier tang from distant quarries. You sense deeper layers stirring, rugged contours yielding to remnants shaped by reverence. Ahead, the hillside parts, forms half hidden by scrub and herbage rising like thoughts from meditation. It is a temple ruin, ancient and understated, marble columns in patient vigil, bleached pale by endless skies. You draw near, air thickening with mineral hush, inviting pause, the scene unfolding unhurried. You stand at the sacred precinct's edge, steps ascending to altar ground softened by moss and time's creep. Stone underfoot bears faint grooves, worn smooth by devoted feet, each a shallow invitation to climb without haste. Columns encircle the space, tall and fluted, surfaces catching late light in subtle gleams, cool in shadows, warm on curves. Fingers brush one, feeling time's texture, ridges deep yet softened, like old wood polished by wind and rain. Herbs weave into cracks, oregano's silver leaves nodding, time's mounds releasing earthy sigh with breeze's breath. Wind threads the columns, soft murmur carrying fragrance in languid waves, as if the structure exhales memories of offerings laid long ago. Pause in the ruin's open heart. Nearby, the amphitheatre curves into the hill, a semicircle of tiered seats hewn from living rock, for starlit gatherings where voices rose in verse. Seats empty now, cushioned by grass and petals, edges rounded by lichen's pale touch, each level a quiet ledge inviting rest. Ease onto one, stone yielding day's warmth, surface textured with rain's fine pits, smoother hollows where elbows leaned in contemplation. Columns frame the distant sea, azure in white embrace, vista of libations to foam and gale deities. Wind whispers, lifting herb leaves in spirals, stirring dust motes to golden flecks settling like benedictions. Time burnishes the piece, deepening it like honey aged in sun-warmed hives, notes of oregano and salt in stone's silent core. Wind's movement traces your skin, respectful of embedded wisdom, following flutes as if retracing chisel's path. Ancient hands, calloused from quarry dust and sun, drew marble from island veins, shaping forms mirroring land's patient lines, columns sturdy as olive trunks, bases squared with extraction's raw marks. Harmony in design, not conquest but conversation with divine. Blocks fitted without mortar, trusting gravity's hold, spaces allowing light and air like unspoken prayers. Herbs reclaim, roots threading joins, blending built with wild in eternal cycle, leaves brushing ankle in feathered whispers. Profound peace, sun-drenched and reflective, marble's warmth seeping into palm like secret across epochs, folded in every vein and groove. Trace columns rise, fingers gliding along flutes smoothed by touch and tempest, grooves cradling ash or oil from rituals past. Gaze lifts to capitals, blooming in elegance, volutes curling like waves paused, acanthus veined as herbs below, textured with chisel's memory. Faint inscriptions on one shaft, letters spectral, whispering dedications to harvest and horizon deities, softened by lichen's veil. Wind weaves intervals, eloquent in unsaid, negative spaces vital as stone, late light pooling to reveal translucence, glow like dawn in quartz. Envision assemblies, philosophers halting mid-reverie, poets intoning under moonrise, garments grazing fluted heights your hand explores. Air retains essence, warm, arid, laced with time's depth. Inhale, wisdom infuses blood, slow as resin in boughs, stone's tactile map charting queries and silences. Venture into ruins folds, inner sanctums bared, arches bowed graceful, keystones dimpled by exposure. Half walls draped in vines and herbage, surfaces scored by wind, striations evoking unremembered strata. Sun sifts breaches, dappling ground in light and shade veils, moats in pirouette, ellipses on veined slabs, settle against toppled plinth, marble cool to back, edges warmed, fracture mellowed by time, moss pockets verdant cushions. Philosophy awakens in hush, beckoning reflection on endurance. Columns arc echoing seas roll, herbs hold, mirroring resolve, roots interlacing stone as ideas entwine spirit. Communion in reverence, peace from lithic and celestial, plinth etched with vestigial carvings, draped figures blurred to intimation. Wind subsides, temple in profound stillness, columns sighing day's light. Rise drawn to humble structures in hillside shelter, walls merging with earth. Smoke wisp ascends, token of vitality, smoky nuance blended with clay's heat. Workshop modest, pottery as earth's rebirth rite, implements on pine racks, grips supple from generations. Near unhurried, air dense with clay's damp aroma, loam evoking crimson earth after showers, ferrous bite of spring water. At lintel, tableau etches, artisan at wheel, palms assured, mire to vessel, walls pressing moist chill. Observe wheel's languid rotation, pace to respiration, cadence contemplative, gyre inhaling terrestrial promise, exhaling structure. Clay ascends slate-hued, pliant, slick, speckled quartz, catching light like sparks in soil. Hands tender, thumbs indenting, palms sweeping, coaxing unadorned grace. Broad-rimmed basin for olives or vintage, flanks diaphanous. Sunlight tempers facade, matte to lustre, richer bouquet interwoven with balsamic whisper of oiled implements. Absorb heat by proxy, radiance imbuing purpose, circuit contemplating silhouette's allure, pedestal roughened silt, anchoring to terrene base. No urgency, deference to boon, reshaped sand strife, lip even as skyline blooming under verse digits. Throb resonates, spin emulating sun's trajectory, loop accruing stature, veneer undulating like disturbed pond. Textures evolve, lustrous burnished, striated coiled, from intuitive grasp, calluses tender roots. Hues intensify, umber motes auguring pyre, ferrous tints resonating boulders, recline against jam, timber tempered, imbibing tranquility, fibre elevated, palm suffused, heritage refined, palms spanning eras, urn cradling brine or pomace, graceful austerity, ether replete with prolific pledge, odour adhering like summons, philosophy murmurs, Genesis accord, contour ephemeral profundity, artisans regard sages interlude. From atelier's warmth, footfalls veer to olive copse, twilight's radiance, wave-flanked boulders retaining sun's sigil. Arbours greet, argent foliage stippling mutable light, stride tender plunge into cogitation's domain, terrain carpeted shed fronds crisp rustle, savoury vinous bouquet dissolution resurgence. Elder savants surface fancy, serene fellows ambling veiled avenues, musing animas poise twisted radicals sun-mottled loam, thonged souls imprinting friable turf bryophyte mantled. Envisioned Socrates, Epicurus halting vast baldaquin, palm rind furrowed antiquity, creases incised discourse, furrows, doctrine scrutiny, light percolates foliage, projecting nuanced motifs tilth, corpuscles adrift shafts tempering ether nebulous aureate, emulate halt, reclining bowl, fervour permeating fabric, linking earthed musing, cortex coarse longitudinal striations, thallus needy silken pads. Copse equanimity magnifies. Ether droop acerbity intermingled prostrate savoury substratum. Folia redolent tussock shins grazing. Cogitation synchronise. Thriving temperance. Delight or parabola main susurrus. Conceit efflorescing droop limb ponderous buoyant. Perennial erudition. Deferential corporeal laxity. Psyche meander. Droop dermis grasp. Chill pocked. Pliancy pulp desiccated, bounty nurtured. Profounder copse, way meanders, sun-flecked, lossy protracted sojourns, limbs interweaving crypt nodules helices, sieving radiance tesserae tepid temperate. Composed basal lith settle obliterated palms, plain sun-tempered sleek spar striated interred musing scintillates, utterances reverberate, Plato archetypes, umbras, fronds, dalliance, Aristotle arbor, silhouette probiti, subdued potency allegory, treads filament veined humus, contemplative consonance, doctrine promenade tranquillity, footfall unveiling strata discernment, lith nebulous incisions, glyphs effaced polish, droops weighty virid integuments taut endearment, nutriment assiduous maturation vowing, peduncles lithe lineus aculi tamed subdued prickle, harvest tumbling grasp, chill unctuous haptic token perseverance poise, mass adjudicated enigma subsiding. Luminescence alters dapples or it mirrors, copse sanctum abyssal quietude, fronds tenuous unison ratifying axioms, ascend perpetuating ramble, souls nuanced relief, radicals vaulting vessels tilth, humus granular suppleness souls dusting, locution's intellect oracle lenient zephyr, anima serenity gyres, commensurability splendorfron member, vessels ruin lithic furrows echoing, deference ethnic nucleus, doctrine exalted not orb imbued anchored terrain placidity innate, ether visage tempering, savoury annotations tether reverie, intellect lithosphere genial throb amalgamating, inspiration copse stratified odours, codices vital tome ingesting, issuing copse clasp, way inclines hamlet, alabaster aglow acclivity firmament progeny descended, contours bougainvillea, subdued crimsons mitigated, agglomeration diminutive, dwellings clustered perennial, parapets orb bleached pristine candour, summits desaturated terracotta tessellated kiln-bowed segments subtly, ingress leisurely, lanes sinuous circuitous, lathes flagged diurnal fervour understated surges, facets burnished lustre pliant footgear soles, ether stratified, main brine, encircling inclined savoury, yawning portal oven-bread tenuous vestige leaven, tepid aureate ascending, heritage throbs unobtrusively lintel vault, geranium urn audacious scarlet efflorescing citus, Calices volutinous limewash incisive facet against, hamlet tacit nucleus oratory petite, unpresuming reposes, parapets limewashed lucent taciturnity, calcimine minute grit proximate discernible shell motes understated coruscation cradling, proximate veneration, or beams plain glancing nimbus fervour projecting, cupola paradigmatic cerulean ascends, Aegean profundities tint-limbed hyacinth tiara firmament against, plain sleek brush caresses desiccated long-grained faintly, luminescence seizes refracting muted cerulean coruscations, regard aloft contemplative tranquillity soliciting, curvature unclosed palm akin encompassing, portal gapes lineous time-worn textured palms questing solace interior patina, fibre billows or brine from elevated, sill tarry, lithic tread lenient fervour sensing, exterior realm interior poise betwixt viaduct, plain genuflected tacit vigil attrition incised faintly, interior ingress locus chill taciturnity enveloping, parapets unembellished geometries curving credence, graceful forbearance articulate, murals stucco upon slender stratified tints, terrestrial cadences burnt, sienna ultramarine muted, attenuated casements orb sifts pavement, aureate alabaster motif stippling, beam effigies, recesses, placid regarding deferential every, auric foil substrata, pigment fervour unveil leniently desquamating. Immobile ether, thurable, dissipated, long tenuously scented, lith innate arid respiration intermingled, limewash annual rejuvenation calcic subdued nuance, linear stall compose plain cohorts, tacit orisons sleek, luminescence caress faintly tempered, fibre rectilinear fluvial devotions akin conduits coursing. Nucleus palpitates softly, heritage, hierarchs, mains, susurrations, effaced murals, filament taper, unignited effulgence pledging yet, effusions restrained ridge-textured cerumen. Abyssal orb-imbued tranquillity, anima perennial recline urn, cubitus repose accommodate curved arm stalls, musing, impressed palms, unguent, tenuous harbouring. Oratory profundity contemplations intensify. Cerulean cupola, semi-lidded orbs regarded main placid infinitude evokes. Isles, cerulean adrift ethnic reverberation. Auric foil, nebulous astra-limbed interior curvature, recollected somnolence tenuous as. Mute, orb, bleached parapets. Aurora denizens convening narrative's harbour. Anthem legend utterances subdued. Meandering palm beneath resonant chillplane stuccos. Stall perimeter along digit delineate. Line nuanced fibre sensing. Fissures through filching orb tempered. Placidly regarding orbs akin nodules. Copse lingers doctrine. Savant erudition, tacit certitude, credence aligning, lithosphere perdurable silhouettes anchored both, cogitation, luminescence, nexus, zenith cupolas. Creed imposes no, placid solicitation solely, austerity its abyssal erudition, oratory aggregated tranquillity faintly stirring ether. Exterior hamlet aureate taciturnity unfurls, languid peregrination solicits sinuous lanes, feral savoury intrudes nebulous fissures textured parapets, erected palms once what reclaiming, alabaster expanse verdant accents appending fronds there, limewash radiant counterpane assuages orb tempers, unadorned pristine tints, umbras, ivory capitulating alabaster, billows remote akin winking portals cerulean, main humidity from subtly tumefied lin there, threshold tarry, anointed somberlin frames, epoch's unguent droop odours harbouring, vine-stalk crux with faintly incised transverse, habitual digit for profoundly textured. Enacted leniently heritage herein, net repair orb posited settle, desaturated orb tight interlaced osier seatits, atelier right echoing ceramics ledge, functionality graceful unembellished silhouettes, isle quintessence cradling, libation solicits labium planed perimeters, fancy artisan gyre reverts, oratory musing vault mirroring liturgy, ethnic rotation languidits, deposit diurnal silt coarse textured lith pedestals, spirit configuring credence akin Maya configuring palms, basal lithosphere from splendour, eliciting deferential deliberate vellum slender flanks, elevating nucleus excavate orbiculating digits, reminiscence coruscate urns, mains athwart commerce antiquity evoking loftier tenuate amphore, ergonomic elongate extruded answers there, loaf communal ample basins, ascent cupola consonant contours there, creation dactyls akin vestiges helix faintly textured pedestals, proximate pyre orb tempers, cerulean oratory resounding brick vault, refined crude transfiguration, assiduous alchemies, grasp fervent clasp ferrous portals, proxy fervour assimilate, artistry tacit its abyssal, celestial palm betwixt viaduct heritage, vital loamy scent meres adhering, largesse liberal lithosphere's memento, remoteness from summon relics temple, fancy regard erect columns, repossessed savoury susurrant zephyr, tussocks efflorescing pulverulence, minute pollen with textured now furrows there, lith oratory akin marble, sigil orb harbours, lucid bleached yet, incision lenient epochs textured, copse fronds akin veined plains, still ambulates them amidst doctrine, stood you where halting savants, silhouette lithe placid in perpetuity pondering, sensed you furrows same delineating perchance palms. All interlinks copse, luminescent stippling droops, delving profound radicals, veiled ways from emerging erudition, columns furrowed bowls, effigies oratory argent fronds, unmarred interweaves, susurrus antiquity, cupola mire in rite artistic, stall relic in cogitation contemplative, consonants pacific imbued orb all, lithosphere damp mire to tacit savoury to mineral lithic from stratifying odours, intensifies twilight, coruscates hamlet yet, billows placid on canvases akin rays, terminal seizing parapets alabaster, urns geranium protracted umbras with textured now planes there, umbra oratory in Tariu, constancy ethnic pharaohs cupola cerulean, tint main versed palms, harbour vaulted aloft horizons, profundating indigo waning luminescence refracting curvaturates, amplifies taciturnity interior, soul beneath chill worn marble pavements, light fading peripheries warmed, radix cupola to fluvial akin coursing veins, tempests reaps beheld have orbs, peace solely offering now, substrata cerulean unveil, foil auric textured halos there, placidity painted with gaze effigies, harmony and brief genuflect you, petition not, unassuming profound credence strata to linking ascend fervour nuanced liths, soft worn threads fabric broidered faintly padded lean genuflectors, itself thought as slow-paced a new lane's peregrinate, juxtaposition verdant pteridophytes, minuscule harbouring fissures, benison akin lingering fervour orbs, shell interred with granitic faintly smooth lime wash, contact solicits curvature parapets, mitigated dew evening fronds there, wildness tenuous oreganos, tacit savouries liberating angles in tussocks, herein resonances discover savoury relics, utilisation with textured hook furled, deferences tacit quiescent chordits, alabaster slender campanile A, contours fluent stylized figures, firmament cerulean beneath reaping droop portraying portal by obscured semi-mural A, minutiae these in Respire's heritage, transited loaves myriad unguent with sombre lin, low-vaulted lintel portal ovens the largesse diurnelle sensorium A, salt sea with mingled trace yeasty breads air, epic tacit aisles the in stanza, a constituent every, toil unembellished palms in erudition, instant luminescences thriving, infuses its doctrine, crepuscule in desaturates atelier ceramics the quiescent gyre, wardens tacit akin ledges upon ranged silhouettes, planks dust silt pavements athwart protracting umbras there, fine incised reminiscences akin reticulation subtle, kiss faint pyres with textured yet desaturating now planes, leaves as aureate pomace or sunset crimson vintage hold pired, tilth isle from extracted mire, lithosphere the mirror's artifact every, scroll upon stylus savant's veneration self-same with shaping, gentle yet indurated palms, artisan's fancy you, still odorous damp, crude lithosphere clodder cradling sill casements the form vessel blessing, genesis mire, two consummates parabola orbs, renewal relic to board to lithosphere from thread cultures, restraint in elegant tranquillity artistic it is, pulsar in cadence, contemplative gyres the retaining ether the rejuvenation relic to board to lithosphere from thread cultures, radiance reminiscences stippled umbraged now ways, clasp tilts with deep textured treads, innate forging radicals, glow memories dappled shadowed now paths last once summons copse olive, contours cogitations like furrowed bark, brushing vestments fancied there, recline orb, dappled as doctrine observation serene in, all pit olives in atoms finding Democritus, full leaves in flux noting Heraclitus, beside stroll thinkers, ruin in marble as pale undersides, reflections faint stirring leaves silver, welcome arching trees, mentally walk it. Underfoot ideas resolved like scattering fruits, interlacement quiet there in profound heart, cultural greases in elements timeless. Whisper, ruins hush, chapels with a line's peace groves thee, sentence eternities in punctuation like knots. Burden without weight, wisdom's holding deep textured, palm imagined, warm trunks gnarled. Gentle veils, nocturne temple thee, repose dark into folding herbs, curl subtle days retaining leaves there, stars emerging against silhouettes as standing columns. Vigil reflective it's to stone leaving fades, whisper winds, fingers ancient of touch, the with resonant yet cool now surfaces, scent time's cradling cracks, warmth farewell suns holding marble. Thought solitary for seats cushioned grass now tears amphitheatre in recited verses. Past gatherings sense you, paths groves the echoing curves tears thee, form fragmented in wisdom offering, interruption of respectful endures peace histories, stone polishes time as shores polishing waves, alike clay and tales carried that sea cultural moon under calm azure it mirroring beyond see thee, faintly gleams chapel village, night in echo sapphire a dome blue, sheen subtle starlight absorbing paint-its, herbs phosphorescent with faintly glowing cracks, arc elegant faiths of sentinels silent silvered day by bleached sun walls, heat remembering yet cool bench stones, sky islands the meets heaven, where point A apex the infinity to arched care with painted, curved domes the gazing outside sit you, invitation unspoken in profound balm cultural a serenity there, shadow in sleep within icons, calm inner to paths sun-drenched both, dome prayers to yielding groves thinkers here, faith meets philosophy, making its from marks chisel faint with textured surface benches the dark workshop in rest forms potters, wall on shadows elegant, dream to open bowls, quiet earths with sealed jars, stance philosophers as steady weighted bases there, grace forms to attuned hands of whisper artistry crafts, press patient foots by smooth worn wood pedals, the rhythm days the holds stilled wheel the hush kilns dry to fading earth wet of scents, fill dawns promising vessels, memory suns holds clay, thirst quiet souls to yield earth's linking simplicity and profound lingers peace artistic, trunks olive mirroring rings, growth of map subtle a grain pine shelves thee, now soft pulses heart islands thee, link azure in dome to columns, tide gentle a culture and history, furrow bark to rim, clay to flute marble from layering textures unhurried and profound wisdom, peace sun drenched in all, walk groves echoes turn pottery's dome chapel to whisper columns temple, earth warmed on easing body night into settle you, leaf and loam mineral of weave final air the echoes these to attuned senses, tapestry quiet vast the enthread a detail, each soul serene greases into deeper full starlights as slow envelops hush reflective, sway reflective its holds night yet faintly stirs promise dawns, dark reclaim ruins, silence in sentinel herbs, verse forgotten like columns threading memory winds, dew nights with now textured flutes, demand without endure that forms in, faithful philosophical artistic, here resides peace cultures, dreams for cradle await fallen plinths thee, calm the deepening inhalation each, hush olives trace mineral clay's cracks from time, air mingled the breathe you, alike thought and stone in echo, suns within warms wisdom timeless, sigh breezes in creek store chapel, moon under river a grain woods the vigil nocturnal inviting, wave moonlit as white walls, bloom subtle days the holding plaster, constellation cultural are overhead arches dome blue, form cradling wood pews within sight, shadows grove as deep folds in painted robes there, calm eternal in gazing icons, curve encompassing domes the in peace surrender in serenity, unfolds philosophy faiths, rain quiet nights of respectful profound silence, bleached sun, paths thinkers like veined marble floors, the edge icons and warm to piercing star singular from light. Dream in call paths grove, cool nights exhaling trunk steps thinkers to witnesses gnarled trees. Truth pondered alike fall olives rustle leaves in wisdom, gleam star by replaced light, a new walk the imagine. Repose harmonious all shades thought from, hand art slow, beats heart cultures, deepens tone reflective. Obscurity in elegant forms sleeps pottery, moisture faint clays holding basecraft of lullaby turn slow wheels. Arches chapel as smooth rims, fill dawn's promising vessels, memory suns holds clay. Air still nights in consolidating sense, thirst quiet souls to yield earth's linking simplicity profound lingers peace artistic. Vigilant stands temple, hush nights cradling seats amphitheatre, weave fine grasses with textured tears, infinity frame columns, closure whispering herbs, moon by silvered leaves there, breath to fades whisper histories complete peaceful, soul reflective for cradler's ruins. Rest to wind alleys village, soft guardian walls white, herbs nocturnal with blooming cracks, all crowns dome blue, serenity iconic, arch final a curvets, flow timeless sun drenched in, arch faithful path thinker's hand potter's envelopes culture. Drift you now whispers these by held, stone ruins, turn wheels, shade groves, blue chapels, light ancient as warm wisdom profound, peace, caress finaler textures, sea dreams gentle to yield's geography nights serene and slow, persist echoes thee, serene and slow, eternal arched dome, deep dappled thoughts, tender-shaped clay-kissed wind columns, you cradles grease of heart reflective, veil sun-warmed peace cultures, detail layered every and profound, it into rest, hush histories in a drift mind-light body, surround forms timeless, curve in clay, sky stone green, silver blue on white, profound and respectful final whispers wisdom, sure sunlit sleeps to leading. You rest into it, body light, mind adrift in history's hush. Timeless forms surround, white on blue, silver on green, stone on sky, clay and curve, wisdom whispers final, respectful and profound, leading to sleep's sunlit shore. As the night's gentle veil lifts, history's echoes dissolve into the soft cadence of now. You awaken to dawn's first blush, the island stirring not with urgency, but with the unhurried grace of breath drawn deep. The timeless heart of stone and thought yields to the living rhythm of those who dwell here, their days a quiet tapestry of hand and sun, woven siga, the slow way, where moments stretch like shadows at midday, time a companion rather than a taskmaster. You feel the easing, subtle as mist burning off the sea, from antiquity's serene vigil to the present's warm pulse. The air lightens, carrying morning's salt-kissed promise, and your steps draw you downward, toward the harbour's tranquil curve, where the day unfolds in patient hands. The path descends gradually, pebbles giving way to packed sand, each footfall sinking slightly, the ground still cool from night's embrace. Light filters through olive branches overhead, casting fleeting patterns on your skin, a reminder that the island's ancient whispers linger even in this ordinary dawn. Siga, the world awakens, and you with it, body loosening into the morning's slow invitation. The harbour cradles the water like a half-forgotten song, its surface still as polished glass under the rising light, ripples forming only where a distant oar dips, lazy and deliberate. You stand at the edge, pebbles cool and smooth beneath your feet, shifting faintly with each deliberate step, their rounded forms fitting the soul like old friends. Hulls of boats rise and fall in lazy harmony, painted in weathered hues of cobalt and rust, their lines softened by years of swell and salt, wood scarred yet sturdy, each mark a story etched by wave and wind. An old fisherman perches on a weathered crate, his back to the paling sky, mending nets that cascade across his lap. Threads of vivid crimson laced with azure, golden knots glinting like captured stars, the fabric heavy with the night's damp slowly drying in the emerging warmth. His hands, broad and steady, guide the needle through the mesh with the rhythm of tide's retreat, each pass measured, unforced, the bone tool slipping through loops as if through water. You watch as he pauses, eyes tracing a frayed line, thumb testing its give, then resumes, the repair blooming slow, stitch by stitch, as if mending the very weave of morning itself. The air holds Tar's faint bite, mingled with the sea's clean exhale, and his unlit pipe rests behind his ear, a wooden sentinel for later solitudes, its bowl carved smooth from years of thumb's caress. You linger in the harbour's hush, the peace seeping into your limbs like oil into wood, shoulders easing, breath deepening to match the water's rise and fall. The fisherman lifts his gaze, face etched with lines like the nets he tends, eyes crinkling in quiet welcome. No words exchanged, just a tilt of head that invites you into this shared stillness, as if you've always been a part of the morning's quiet company. His fingers continue their work, patient as the horizon, knotting what the waves have unravelled, readying for what they might yield, each twist of thread a small act of faith in the sea's generosity. Around him, the morning eases wake. A lone gull circles low, wings slicing air without effort, its cry distant and uninsistent, white form cutting the sky's soft blue. A skiff glides in from the night, its rower raising a palm in wordless salute, oars lifting clear of water in slow arcs, droplets falling back like scattered pearls. The nets transform gradually, scarlet for fortune, blue for depths unseen, each loop a chapter of hauls remembered, gales endured, dawns mirrored in this one. Siga Siga, the sun's light spreading across his shoulders, turning the harbour into a basin of liquid amber, pebbles warming underfoot, the air filling with the subtle creak of wood settling into place. The fisherman's hands pause again, not in fatigue but in contemplation, fingers splayed over the net's expanse, feeling its weight, the way it drapes like a living thing. You notice the calluses on his palms thick as bark, yet his touch remains gentle, the needle passing through with a whisper of friction, thread pulling taut but not tight. He adjusts his position on the crate, legs crossed, the wood groaning softly under him, and resumes, the rhythm building like a wave gathering strength far offshore, slow, inevitable, full of quiet power. The harbour widens in your vision, boats moored in loose lines, their ropes coiled on decks like sleeping snakes, the water's surface catching the first full rays, turning from slate to silver. A young boy approaches, perhaps his grandson, carrying a bucket of bait, small fish glistening inside, and the fisherman nods, accepting it without fanfare, the exchange as natural as breath. The boy sits nearby, watching, mimicking the needle's path with his own small fingers on an imaginary net, learning not through instruction, but through the morning's patient example. Siga Siga, the lesson unfolds, the sun climbing higher, warming the air to a comfortable hold, the net's colours blooming brighter, crimson deepening to blood-warm red, azure to midday sky. You shift your weight, pebbles crunching faintly, and the fisherman glances your way once more, his eyes holding a depth like the sea he faces, lines around them fanning like ripples from a stone dropped still. No question asked, no answer needed. He simply returns to his work, the needle flashing briefly in the light, thread vanishing into mesh. The harbour fills slowly with similar figures, a woman sorting catch from the night's lines, her movements mirrored in the water's sway, fingers deft yet unhurried, scales falling like silver rain. Another man polishes his oars, cloth moving in long strokes, wood gleaming under his palm, the scent of linseed oil joining the tar and salt. Time here is elastic, stretching between stitches, between breaths, the sun's arc marking progress not in haste, but in the gradual shift of light across faces, turning skin from pale to golden. You feel it in your own body, the urge to sit, to watch, to let the rhythm seep in. Siga Siga, the morning's mend a meditation, the harbour a classroom of patience, where every knot tied is a knot in the soul loosened. From the harbour's tranquil lap your path turns inward, ascending softly through scrub-dotted slopes, the air warming, carrying whispers of dust and resilient mint. The ground firmer now, packed earth holding the night's cool in its depths. The sun climbs higher, shadows contracting like breaths held long, light slanting through sparse leaves to speckle the way ahead. You enter the ancient grove once more, but now it pulses with the quiet labour of those who know its secrets by touch. Figures moving like extensions of the trees themselves, bent in reverent task, harvesting olives by hand as seasons have taught, the air thick with the promise of oil to come. An elder woman pauses beneath a broad canopy, her apron dusted pale with earth, fingers reaching for clusters heavy with promise, green skins firm under silver leaf, each pluck a gentle twist, fruit cradled briefly in palm before settling into her basket with a soft thud. She works alone at first, but others join, their forms emerging from the dapple, a young man with sleeves gathered at elbows, hands scarred from the right, twisting boughs with tenderness to spare the yield from bruise, his movements echoing hers in slow symmetry. You halt at the grove's fringe, sun dappling the workers' forms in shifting mosaics, light playing across bent backs like fingers on a lyre. The canopy above a vault of silver and green, leaves trembling faintly in the breeze's sigh. The air grows rich with crushed foliage's nutty release, ripe droop's subtle tang clinging to skin and hem, a fragrance that deepens with every hand's passage. The woman's basket swells unhurriedly, olives nestling with muted thumps, their weight a quiet testament to vigilance. Trees offering ripen through thirst and plenty, branches bowed low as if in gratitude. She straightens occasionally palm to brow, surveying the canopy for the next bounty, her gestures flowing, unstrained, Siga Siga in every extension and let go. The sun warming her neck, turning sweat to a fine sheen that catches the light. The young man intones a half song, voice low and rolling, fingers raking limbs like a shepherd's crook, gathering without excess, pausing to examine a particularly full cluster, rolling it between thumb and forefinger, assessing ripeness with the eye of one who has watched seasons turn. Avian shadows dart through branches, unalarmed, their notes a counter-melody to the subdued toil below, a sparrow alighting on a basket's rim, tilting head as if curious, then fluttering away. The grove extends around you, trees standing in no rigid order, trunks twisted like stories half told, roots delving deep into soil that yields its bounty slowly. Another figure appears, an older man with a ladder of lashed branches, positioning it against a taller tree, climbing rung by rung with the care of one who knows a slip is not disaster but delay. From his perch, he reaches into the upper boughs, hands disappearing among leaves, emerging with handfuls of olives that he drops into a cloth sling below, the full soft, the cloth billowing slightly to catch them. The woman below calls up softly, a word about the tree's mood this year, abundant but coy, and he replies with a chuckle low and rumbling, the ladder creaking in agreement. Siga Siga. The harvest builds, baskets filling one by one, the ground littered with fallen leaves that crunch under shifting feet, releasing more of that nutty scent, mingling with the faint green snap of a branch bent too far, quickly righted without word. You move closer, the sun's warmth on your face matching the worker's steady glow, feeling the rhythm in the air, the pluck, the drop, the pause to wipe a hand on apron or trouser, the shared glance that says all without saying. Deeper into the grove's embrace the labour spreads, a family group now, children trailing with smaller baskets, their hands mimicking the adults' motions, plucking with less precision but equal care. A droop squeezed too hard, bursting juice on fingers met with a smile rather than scold. The elder woman kneels to show a girl how to twist without pulling, palm over small palm, the lesson passing like sunlight through leaf, gentle, illuminating, gone in a moment but remembered in touch. The young man hauls a full basket to a shaded spot, tipping it into a larger crate, olives rolling in a dark green cascade, the sound like distant rain on dry earth. He pauses there, drinking from a flask of water, the liquid cool against sun-heated lips, sharing a sip with the boy who has followed, the exchange simple, wordless, a thread in the day's weave. Siga siga. The grove gives and takes in equal measure, trees standing sentinel, their silver undersides flashing as wind stirs, the sun tracing slow circles overhead, marking time not in clocks, but in the gradual filling of crates, the slow emptying of branches. The afternoon's golden hold deepens, light slanting lower through the canopy, turning leaves to burnished coins, shadows lengthening like fingers reaching for evening. The workers straighten more often now, backs arching in relief, gathering under a particularly broad tree for a brief rest. Basket set aside, hands rubbing wrists, conversations rising soft, talk of the press to come, the oil's promise, a neighbour's tree that bore poorly last year but might redeem itself soon. A cloth is spread, bread broken and shared, olives tasted raw, their bitterness a sharp joy on the tongue, water passed around in tin cups dented from years of use. The children play nearby, building small towers of fallen fruit, toppling them with giggles muffled by the leaf hush. You sit among them, unremarked, the ground firm beneath you, roots pressing up like gentle reminders of the earth's hold. Siga siga. The pause stretches, no rush to resume, the sun's warmth a blanket over all, the grove holding its bounty close, releasing it only when ready, the hands that tend it patient as the roots below. Deeper into the afternoon's golden hold, the trail descends to the village square, the platea, a sun-bathed core where existence converges without proclamation, flagstones worn smooth by generations of bare soles and sandals. You arrive as warmth crests, air quivering faintly above the stones, bearing scents of oven-fresh loaves cooling on sills and herbal infusions steeping in tumblers, steam rising lazy in the heat. The square unfurls like an open palm, hemmed by lime-washed facades with blue shutters half-lidded against the glare, and the vast shade of a plane tree, its broad leaves sighing in the slightest stir, trunk vast as a pillar from the ruins, bark furrowed deep with age's patient script. Under its canopy, men occupy a scarred table, chairs canted lazily against its legs, immersed in tavli, backgammon markers shifting with muted clicks across the board's checkered field, voices subdued, laced with occasional nods of accord or wry amusement. The game a slow river of strategy and chance. An elder, hat brimmed low against the glare, casts dice with seasoned ease, the ivory tumbling across wood like pebbles in a stream, gaze sharpening on the fall before advancing his piece with a finger's deliberate slide, the board's ebony and ivory a chart of leisurely tactic, each move pondered as if consulting the tree's shade for counsel. His counterpart leans in, pipe clenched between teeth, stem carved from olive wood, exhaling measured vapour ascending to mingle with the foliage's faint rustle, the smoke curling slow, tracing patterns in the dappled light. The dice roll again, a soft rattle that draws a murmur. Kalo. Good, the elder says, voice gravelly from years of salt air, his piece leaping forward, the board shifting balance without triumph, just the quiet satisfaction of play well met. You ease onto a nearby ledge of sun-warmed stone, the surface retaining midday's heat like a stored promise, soaking in the platea's tempo, the tree's shade cooling one side of your face while sun kisses the other. A matron traverses the square's edge with a trug of figs balanced on hip, their violet rinds plump and dusted with bloom, offering one to a child at frolic near the fountain, the fruit parting under small teeth to reveal honeyed core, juice trickling chinward in a slow rivulet. Fowl forage at scatterings of crumb near the wellspring, their pecks unhurried, the trickle from its weathered spout a constant soothing cadence, water beading on mossy rim like dew on leaf. The Tavli persists, dice tumbling like far-off stones in a valley, each placement pondered long, siga, countenances serene, furrowed by summers accrued like rings in the plane tree's heartwood. A deft manoeuvre flips the game's tide, eliciting laughter muted and shared, rippling through the shade like breeze through leaves. Met not with gloating, but a clap on shoulder, the board reset with pieces gathered in palm, ready for the next unhurried round. The tree looms immense above, bowl textured with vertical scars from lightning long past, roots meandering subsurface like hidden streams feeding the square's life, leaves broad enough to shelter a gathering, their undersides pale, flashing silver when wind lifts them in collective sigh. Across the square, a feline reclines on a sun-soaked tread of a whitewashed step, pelt tawny as the light itself, form undulating with profound inhalations, paws folded neat, tail a languid loop curling over flank, slumbering as if existence demands nothing beyond this radiant hold, body sinking into stone that remembers the sun's full kiss, eyes sealed in perfect trust. The afternoon unravels, threading these unassuming elegances with the patience of a weaver at loom. A hawker materializes from a side lane with platters balanced on head, lucumi arranged in neat rows, petal-scented confections sugared pale as the chapel's walls, dispensing them with a grin that endures through the heat, coins changing hands in slow exchange, wrappers crinkling soft. Youth pursue a sphere in the square's far nook, cries softened by arboreal quiet, halting mid-chase for draughts from beaded vessels of water drawn from the fountain, droplets tracing cool paths down necks flushed from play. The Tavli companions adjust their seats as light slants westward, one replenishing another's draught from an earthen ewer set on table's edge, fluid shimmering tawny in the beam, poured with a steady hand that spills not a drop. The feline rouses briefly from its step, elongating, sinuous in a stretch that arches back and extends claws without scratch, then reposes once more, orbs slitted in satiation, tail flicking once like a metronome set to the square's own slow beat. You absorb the siga, indices tumble across wood, figs bestowal from basket to palm, surrenders doze on sun-held stone, the hamlet respiring unified, profound and measured, sun charting its passage over visages inclined to umbrage, palms quiescent or occupied in parity, the plane tree's shade deepening as if to cradle the hour's wait. A vendor pauses near the fountain, his cart laden with lemons from terraced slopes, their yellow skins waxy under sun, arranging them in pyramids that teeter but hold, calling out softly to passers-by, voice carrying no farther than the tree's edge. A woman in black shawl buys a handful, fingers selecting with care, placing them in her bag alongside bread wrapped in cloth, the exchange lingering in a few words about the crop's sweetness this year, rain's timely gift. The children return to their game, the ball bouncing irregular on flagstones, laughter bubbling up like the fountain's flow, one pausing to pet the cat on the step, hand stroking fur in long, slow strokes, the animal purring without stirring, eyes remaining closed in contentment. The Tavli players lean back now, one lighting his pipe at last. Flame flaring brief from a match struck on boot sole, smoke rising in lazy coils to join the leaves' faint motion. The aroma of tobacco blending with lemon citrus tang and bread's yeasty warmth. Siga, the square breathes. Moments layering like sediment in the fountain's basin. Time visible in the lengthening shadows of chairs, the gradual emptying of the hawker's cart, the cat's tail uncurling once to bat at a sunbeam, then stilling again. As sun inclines seaward, cadences mellow anew, the platea exhaling like a sigh prolonged, light slanting to paint walls in hues of peach and rose. The Tavli expanse is shuttered with care, markers ensconced in worn leather satchel, companions ascending with inclinations of head and susurrated adieus. Kalinichta, good night. Voices trailing like smoke, gates unpressured toward hearth and supper. The matron with figs tarries at the fountain's rim, narratives exchanged with a neighbour over tisane poured from thermos, tones hushed as if sharing secrets with the water, gestures palm up turned in emphasis soft. The hawker folds his cart's awning slow, lemons remaining few, wrapping them in paper for the last buyer. A conversation blooming on the fruit's journey from slope to square, roots in soil like the tree's own. The children scatter gradually, ball tucked under arm, faces alight with day's end, pausing to splash hands in the fountain, water cool on heated skin, droplets flung in arcs that catch the dying light. The feline endures on its step, or it pool unmoved by the thinning crowd, body rising and falling in rhythm with the square's fading pulse, tail tip twitching in dream's faint signal. You ascend leisurely from the ledge, stone's fervour adhering to dermis like a parting gift, ferrying the platea's serenity, the marker's subdued clack resounding in recall, arboreal umbrage a persistent chill against cheek. The cats form a fixed point in the shifting scene. The square sighs into vesper, siga siga, its diurnal poise a filament linking matutinal suture to nocturnal recline. Flagstones holding heat into twilight, the plane tree standing sentinel as shadows merge. A final figure crosses, an old woman with cane tapping soft on stone, pausing to touch the trunk's bark, palm flat as if listening to its slow heartbeat, then continuing on, silhouette lengthening toward home. The fountain trickles on, water's voice the square's last whisper, lemon's scent lingering faint, the cat shifting once to follow a moth with lazy eye, then settling deeper into stone's embrace. You feel the hamlet's breath slow, the rhythm embedding in your own, unhurried, full, the island's heart in every step away. From the platea's sunlit core, your trail meanders harbourward once more. Luminescence now aureates slant, transmuting waters to smelted bronze, reflections dancing like fire on wave crests. The mendicant has concluded his labour, nets compacted in chromatic sheaves beside his craft, threads repaired coruscating akin to loads unearthed, colours muted in the softening light. He erects, elongating spine with hands on hips, regarding the main as if parleying with an elder confidant. Horizons line a conversation in silences long. Villagers accrue adjacent in loose gathering. Diurnal's terminus partitioned in tacit discourse. Hampers at ankles laden with droops or finitrove. Voices low as they sought the day's take. Fingers deft on scales and knives. You observe as a lad aids his grandsire in discharging the pinnace. Diminutive palms resolute on skulls rested now. Imbibing the traction's memory sans utterance. Cadence bequeathed akin to lay from progenitor to heir, the boat's hull scraping sand with a sigh. The ether tempers faintly, faring cephalopods grill from proximate taberna, vapour slender and alluring, drawing a few to linger, plates passed hand to hand in shared portions. Siga siga, vesper expands, crafts moored with ropes coiled deliberate, meshes stowed in holds that creak under weight, the harbour subsiding into crepuscular taciturnity. Water's lap against wood a lullaby commencing. The fisherman folds his crate, net slung over shoulder, pausing to rinse hands in shallows, water swirling clear around fingers gnarled as roots. He nods to the group, joining their circle briefly, a story told in gestures broad, laughter rising soft as foam on wave, then dispersing, steps leading homeward along paths lit by first stars. The boy trails the grandsire, buckets swinging empty, questions bubbling unhurried, answers given in pauses between strides. You stand a moment longer, the harbour's rhythm echoing in your chest, the men's steady stitch, the sea's endless give and take, light fading to purple at the edges, boats settling into night's hold like sleepers in bed. Siga Siga, the evening claims its own, the air cooling to a caress, salt lingering on tongue, the island's day folding into repose. Vesper deepens to indigo hush, yet cadences abide, muted as billow upon timber, the grove calling you back in thought if not step. Lanterns flicker amid bowls now, kin convening for inaugural extrusion, palms adhesive with unguent fresh pressed, merriment intermingled with press's protracted groan, stone wheels turning slow under weight of laden cloths, oil seeping golden into vats below. Figures move in firelight's glow, children dipping fingers to taste the first run, faces lighting with bittersweet surprise, elders nodding approval, the rite bridge from harvest toil to winter's store. Conversations weave through the creak and drip, tales of trees that bore heavy this year, others sparse but flavourful, hands passing cloths to ring anew, the air thick with pumice's earthy perfume, lanterns swaying gentle on branches, casting shadows that dance like leaves in wind. Siga Siga, the press labours on, oil flowing in steady trickle, jars filling one by one, the grove alive with purpose soft, families bound in the night's quiet work, stars wheeling overhead as witnesses silent. Retro in the platea, under plane trees' deepening shade, solitary contender tarries, expanse Tavli unbarred to Astra's gaze, dice quiescent in grasp, anticipating comrade or perchance Nocte's fellowship alone, boards pieces frozen mid-move, shadows lengthening across checkers like fingers reaching. He sips from a glass of reiki, clear as the fountain's flow, the burn mild on tongue, warming from within, eyes distant on memories of games past, the tree's leaves rustling approval in breeze faint. A moth flutters near the lantern hung low, wings dusting light, drawing his gaze for a moment, then away. The night wrapping the square in velvet quiet. Fountains trickle the only constant, water pooling in basin worn smooth. The cat on the step, now silvered by moon, thrice circumambulates its chosen stone ere composing, form fervent against lith-conserving diurnal's ardour, orbs slitted in satiation, tail-tip twitching in dream's faint signal, body a curve of perfect yield to the night's cool embrace. You perceive it all, the isle's diurnal interlace, matins sutured by needle's patient arc, meridians umbridged in Tavli's measured roll, vesper partitioned in press's slow turn, Siga Siga, existence enacted in orb's assiduous luminescence, every gesture harbouring the poise of epoch judiciously expended, the hamlet sighing into Nocte's clasp, vowing matutinal's languid aurora, palms identical suturing, extirpating, recreating, slumbering, perennial in their unembellished, orb-imbued gyre. The air cools further, stars sharpening overhead, the harbour's distant lap a lull, the grove's lanterns winking out one by one, the square's fountains singing on. You stand at the threshold of it, rhythms embedding deep, from dawn's mend to night's quiet close, the island cradling you in arms unhurried, warm as the stone that holds the day's heat long into dark. The moon climbs higher, bathing paths in silver wash, harbour's meshes faintly coruscating under her gaze, copses droops sombre gems in lingering lantern radiance, their press now stilled, jars sealed against tomorrow's use. The platea taciturns holy, plains fronds immobile in windless air, expanse Tavli rossida, contra velatum with cloth against dew's kiss, the contender gone to his cot, dice dreaming in pouch. The feline, aureate no more but lunar pale upon tread, thrice circumambulates ere reposing fully, form fervent against lith, conserving diurnal's ardour through Nocte's chill, orb sealed, breath even as the fountains flow, villagers' windows glow faint from within, suppers shared in murmurs low, plates cleared slow, stories spun from day's small wonders, the net's perfect mend, the tree's generous bough, the dice's lucky fall, Siga Siga, the night deepens, rhythms persisting in sleep's soft hold, the island exhaling into repose, promising the harbour's dawn, the grove's reach, the square's shade, a new, unhurried, eternal in grace. In this cradle of Cycladic, you let the rhythms carry you, body heavy with peace, mind floating on the day's slow current, from fisherman's stitch to press's groan, Tavli's click to cat's curl, all weaving the human thread through Greece's sunlit heart. The moon watches benevolent, stars pricking the velvet sky. The seas whisper a final lullaby, drawing you towards sleep's own unhurried shore, where tomorrow waits, patient as the olives bloom. You drift now, held by the island's rhythms, the mend of nets at dawn, the pluck of olives under midday's gaze, the soft click of Tavli in shaded repose, the cat's curl on sun-held stone. Cycladic, the day folds into evening's gentle fold, each moment releasing into the next, unhurried, like cloth smoothed over a bed before sleep. The air cools to a whisper, carrying the faint tang of grilled herbs from a closing taverna, and your steps, light as they have become, lead you upward once more, away from the square's lingering hush. The path rises softly, earth packed firm underfoot, olive roots threading the soil like veins of silver in dusk's half-light. You feel the pull, not insistent, but inviting, as if the island itself guides you to a place of final settling, where the day's warmth lingers long after the sun dips low. Twilight gathers, slow as honey poured from a tilted jar, and you find yourself on a hillside terrace, simple and whitewashed, overlooking the Aegean as evening claims the sea. The terrace opens before you like a breath released, its flagstones worn smooth by feet that came here for generations, seeking the same quiet close. You lower yourself onto a low bench of olive wood, its surface cool now but holding the day's faint heat in its grain, the wood's knots like eyes closed in contentment. The house behind is humble, walls lime-washed to a purity that glows soft in the fading light. Blue shutters half open like invitations unspoken. A single pot of basil on the sill releasing its green note into the air. You sit, body easing into the bench's embrace, legs extending toward the edge where stone meets sky, the terrace a threshold between tended earth and endless blue. Below, the sea stretches, vast and untroubled, its surface turning to liquid gold as the sun kisses the horizon, rays spilling across waves like threads of molten amber, each ripple catching fire, then releasing it in sighs of light. Cycladic, the sunset unfolds, not in rush, but in layers peeled slow, the sky deepening from azure to rose, the water mirroring every shift, gold deepening to burnished copper, then softening to the warm glow of embers banked for night. You lean back, the bench cradling your spine, wood smooth as a palm run over many times, the air settling around you like a shawl woven from evening's own threads. The hillside slopes away gently, dotted with olives that stand sentinel, their leaves silvered now in twilight's touch, trunks twisted as if listening to the earth's slow secrets. A breeze arrives, gentle as a lover's sigh, rustling through the grove below, leaves murmuring in response, soft shooshes, like pages turned in an old book read by candlelight. You close your eyes for a moment, feeling it on your skin, cool against the day's residual warmth, carrying scents of salt and leaf, wild thyme crushed under distant steps. The olives sway faintly, branches bowing in courtesy, their silver undersides flashing brief as the breeze lifts and releases, a quiet chorus of motion that matches your breath. In, out, slow, and full. Cycladic, the rustle builds and fades, a rhythm without end, the grove breathing with you, leaves parting to reveal glimpses of sea, then closing like curtains drawn soft. Open your eyes, and the view reclaims you, the Aegean lying calm, horizon blurred where water meets sky, the sun a low orb now, half sunk, painting the waves in strokes of gold that undulate lazy, each crest a fleeting crown before dissolving into trough's blue shadow. Boats dot the distance, hulls dark silhouettes against the light, sails furled like sleeping wings, their anchors holding steady in depth that remember storms long past. You watch one rock gently, wood creaking faint in memory's ear, the sea's surface rippling outward in circles slow, gold spreading like ink in water, the colour deepening as sun dips lower, turning the entire expanse to a basin of living fire, warm and inviting, as if the water itself yearns for the light's touch. The hillside frames it all, terrace jutting like a quiet promontory, stones at its edge rounded by wind's patient hand, moss clinging in green tufts that soften the line where land meets void. Siga, the sunset lingers, reluctant to leave, the sky blushing pink at edges, clouds few and high, edged in gold like halos half-formed, the sea reflecting it all in mirror faithful, waves lapping far below with a rhythm that echoes your pulse, steady, deep, untroubled. The breeze returns, stronger now but still tender, weaving through the olives with a rustle that fills the air like distant rain on leaves, each frond parting and rejoining in soft collision, silver flashing brief against deepening dusk. You shift on the bench, wood warm beneath you still. The terrace's stones holding heat like a hearth banked low, radiating upward to warm your palms pressed flat against them. The olives respond to the wind's call, branches swaying in unison slow, leaves whispering secrets of sun and soil, their sound a lullaby layered, rising and falling like breath in sleep. One tree stands closest, trunk broad as an arm's embrace, bark rough-textured under imagined touch, roots spreading visible at base, delving into earth that feeds them year after year. The breeze lifts a cluster of leaves near you, rustling close enough to feel the air's movement on your face, cool and scented with green sharpness, Lime's echo from the slope below mingling in, the sound enveloping intimate, as if the grove confides directly to your ear. Siga, rustle building to a hush, then silence brief, only to begin anew, the olive's patient teachers of waiting, of letting sound come and go without grasp. From the terrace's edge, your gaze drifts downward, the hillside falling away in gentle folds, terraced walls white against green, olives marching in rows that follow the land's curve, their leaves a sea of silver in the breeze's play. The sun sinks lower, half lost now, the sea's gold intensifying to a blaze that blinds soft, forcing eyes to narrow, the light warm on lids closed against it, a glow that seeps through like memory's afterimage. When you look again, the horizon has shifted, sun a sliver, the water holding its fire longer, waves tipped in lingering flame, the colour spreading upward into sky's underbelly, pink deepening to lavender at zenith. A distant taverna glows now, its lanterns kindled on a promontory far below, warm orbs of amber punching holes in Twilight's fabric, light spilling soft across tables set for evening, shadows of figures moving slow within, plates passed hand to hand, wine poured in measures unhurried. The glow pulses faint, like a heartbeat seen from afar, drawing the eye with promise of simple warmth. Bread dipped in oil, conversation low as the breeze, the taverna a beacon not urgent but comforting, its light mingling with sunset's last, turning the sea to a canvas of gold and honey. You settle deeper into the bench, legs stretching full, feet dangling over terrace edge, stones below rough and inviting if you chose to descend, but you remain, body heavy with the day's gathered peace, mind floating on the breeze's current. The olives rustle on, leaves turning in the wind's hand, silver to green and back. The sound a constant companion, soft as hair brushed from face, each gust carrying a new layer, time's sharpness fading to salt's clean edge, the grove's breath mingling with sea's exhale far below. Siga, the rustle varies, now a hush like silk on skin, now a fuller murmur as wind strengthens brief, branches bowing low, then straightening with a sigh, the trees uncomplaining, rooted deep in soil that holds them through all weathers. One leaf detaches, drifting lazy on the breeze, spiralling down the hillside, catching light once, before vanishing into undergrowth, a quiet departure that asks nothing, gives everything in its fall. You watch its path, breath matching the leaf's slow turn, the terrace a world unto itself, white walls curving protective, the house's door ajar, spilling faint lamplight golden inside, a book open on table, pages still. The sun yields fully now, slipping below horizon's line, the sea holding its gold a moment longer, waves glowing from within like veins of ore under skin, the colour fading gradual to twilight's deep blue, stars pricking faint at sky's dome. The taverna's glow strengthens in the dimming, lanterns multiplying, warm pools of light on terrace there, figures gathering closer, chairs scraped soft on stone, voices rising just enough to carry on wind, laughter low, a song hummed half, the clink of glasses like pebbles shifted by tide. You imagine the scene, not straining, but letting it unfold in mind's eye, the light spilling seaward, mingling with moons rising silver, the taverna a hearth for the island's evening soul, wine flowing slow as the sunset did, stories shared in turns unhurried, Siga Siga, the night young yet patient. The breeze brings a trace of it, smoke from a fire pit, herbs grilled simple, the scent weaving through olive rustle, grounding the distant in the near, the terrace your own small hearth, stone warm beneath, air cool above. Crickets begin their nightly chorus now, faint at first, a single note from the underbrush below, tentative as a question whispered. Another joins, then more, voices layering in the dark folds of the hillside, a hum that builds slow, harmonious, each chirp a pause between, the sound rising and falling like breath in communal sleep. You tilt your head, listening, the rustle of leaves pausing brief as if grove attends too. Cricket's song a counterpoint soft, intimate, filling the spaces wind leaves behind. Siga Siga. The chorus swells without crescendo, notes overlapping in waves gentle, the hillside alive with their quiet insistence, a lullaby for the coming dark. One calls close, hidden in grass at terrace base, its rhythm steady as heartbeat, others echoing from olive shade, the sound enveloping, drawing you deeper into the bench's hold, body sinking, limbs heavy with the song's weightless pull. The sea below darkens fully, gold gone to navy, stars reflecting faint on surface still, the crickets hum rising to meet them, a bridge between earth and night sky. You shift slightly, bench creaking soft under you, wood settling as if sighing in agreement, the terrace's stones radiating last of day's heat upward, warming calves, soles. The breeze circles back, cooler now, rustling olives anew, leaves parting to let moonlight through, silvering branches in ghostly gleam, the sound a hush that blends with cricket's song, layers upon layers, winds whisper, leaf's response, insect's steady call, all weaving a tapestry for twilight's ear. Siga Siga. The rustle varies with the wind's mood, now a gentle comb through foliage, now a fuller sigh as gust lifts clusters whole, branches bowing low in courtesy, releasing more scent, green and sharp, mingled with night's blooming jasmine from the house's wall. A leaf detaches again, drifting on breeze's arm, spiralling past your knee, catching on him before falling free, its path a slow dance downward, vanishing into dark below. You watch, breath sinking with its turn, the terrace a stage for such small dramas. White walls glowing faint under moon, the house's interior light spilling warm, a lamp's halo on table where a cup steams untouched, invitation to linger. The taverna's glow calls from afar, lanterns steady now, amber pools drawing figures into their circle, shadows lengthening across its terrace, plates cleared slow, wine refilled in measures sparing. You sense the warmth there, not cold, but kindred to the stone beneath you, light spilling like shared stories, voices carrying faint on wind, Laughter low as crickets. A melody plucked on string, buzuki perhaps, notes wandering lazy into night. The glow pulses with life soft, a heartbeat seen across distance, mingling moon silver with fire's gold, the sea between them a dark mirror holding both. Siga Siga. The taverna lives its evening. Doors open to breeze, tables set for stragglers, the light a beacon not to hurry, but to arrive when ready, its warmth reaching even here, blending with hillsides cool, the olives rustle, a bridge between. You feel it on skin, the night's balance, warm stone, cool air, distant fire, near moon, all holding you in equilibrium gentle, the terrace your centre, body still, mind drifting on the chorus below. Crickets swell their song, the hillside alive with it now, notes overlapping in waves that rise from grass and stone, a hum profound and ancient, each voice pausing to let another speak, the rhythm a cradle rocking slow. You lean forward, elbows on knees, listening deeper, the sound enveloping like water rising around form, cool and insistent, filling ears with its steady pulse. Chirp, pause, chirp, the intervals lengthening as night deepens, the chorus patient, unyielding. One calls from olive shade close by, hidden in leaf litter, its note sharp, then softening, answered by kin across the slope, the song spreading like ink in cloth, staining twilight with sound intimate. Siga Siga, the crickets weave their nightly veil, no leader among them, each adding to the whole without demand, the hum rising to match wind's rustle, leaves joining in counterpoint, silver flashes brief in moon's regard. You close eyes again, letting it wash over, the terrace fading to sensation, benches wood against back, stone's warmth under palm, breeze's cool kiss on neck, crickets' song a tide pulling inward, toward rest's deep shore. The sea darkens fully, stars pricking the vault above, their light cold and distant, contrasting taverna's warm glow below, lanterns steady as heartbeats, figures blurred now in motion slow, a door swinging open to release laughter, soft, carried up on wind to mingle with olive rustle. You open eyes, the view a canvas of night settling, sea black as ink with silver flecks where waves catch moon, horizon lost in dark, the hillside a silhouette of trees and walls, whitewashed house a pale ghost beside you. The breeze circles once more, leaves responding with hush renewed, crickets undimmed, their song the night's true voice, rising from earth to fill the air, a chorus for sleep's approach. Siga Siga, the elements converse, wind through leaf, insect from grass, light from lantern, moon from sky, all in harmony soft, the terrace your listening post, body heavy now, limbs leaden with peace, mind floating on the sound's gentle current. You shift, bench welcoming the movement, wood smooth as if shaped for this exact repose. The terrace's edge dropping away to hillside's fold, olives marching down to sea's rim, their rustle a constant undercurrent to cricket's hum, leaves turning in wind's hand, silver to green in endless play. The taverna calls faint, its glow a promise of warmth shared, plates of mise passed slow, ouzo poured in toasts murmured, the light spilling seaward like a path for wandering souls. You imagine sitting there, glass cool in palm but remain, the hillside your chosen quiet, the view unfolding below, sea vast and star-strewn, waves whispering secrets to shore, the night deepening to velvet hold. Siga Siga, time dissolves here, sunset's gold long gone, replaced by night's silver hush, the breeze cooling further, olive's song softening to sigh, cricket's chorus steady anchor, guiding you inward toward the rest that waits like an open door. The house behind you breathes soft, lamplight steady on sill, basil's leaves stirring in breezes pass, scent green and sharp cutting night's cool. You rise slow from bench, legs numb with stillness, steps tentative on flagstones that release day's last warmth, the terrace a world small and complete, walls curving protective, door ajar like an arm extended. Inside, the room unfolds simple, Table of wood scarred by knife and elbow, chair drawn up, book open to page half-read, cup steaming with tisane forgotten in musing. You enter, air warmer here, scented with wax and herb, the lamps glow soft as candle, shadows pooling gentle in corners. Siga, you settle into chair, wood cradling form, the book closing under palm, pages smooth as leaf, the room a cocoon of night, window framing sea and stars, cricket's song filtering through, olives rustling faint beyond. The breeze finds the window, rustling curtains thin as veil, leaves murmur distant now but present, a lullaby carried on air's wing. Crickets continue their vigil, songs swelling brief, then easing, notes overlapping in waves that rock the mind. The hillside alive with their patient call, each chirp a pause for breath, the chorus a river flowing dark. You sip the tisane, cool now but sweet with honey's trace, warmth spreading from throat to chest, body sinking deeper into chair's hold, legs extending, feet finding rug-woven course, threads soft under sole. The taverna's glow winks far below, lanterns steady, figures fewer now, night claiming its share, the lighter comfort distant like a fire seen from hilltop promising shelter without demand. Siga, the room holds you. Lamps flame flickering soft, shadows dancing slow on wall, the book beside you open to poem half known, words blurring in eyes fatigue, inviting close. Moonlight spills through window, silvering table's edge, cups rim, the basil's leaves turning pale, breeze stirring them to rustle faint, green note sharpening in night's cool. Crickets' song deepens, hillside's chorus full now, hum rising to fill the room, a sound intimate as heartbeat, wrapping around thought, pulling towards sleep's edge. You lean back, chair creaking soft, wood yielding to weight, the terrace outside a silhouette dark, olives standing still in wind's lull, sea below a black mirror starred, waves whisper lost to distance but felt in bone. Siga, eyelids heavy, breath slowing to match cricket's pause, the taverna's glow fading to ember, night enveloping gentle, the house a cradle warm, guiding you down, into rest profound and waiting arms. The breeze returns one last time, rustling olives far, leaves song a farewell soft, crickets holding steady, their chorus the night's guardian, notes weaving through dream's threshold. You feel the pull, body sinking, mind drifting on wind's current, the terrace, the sea, the glow, all dissolving into hush. Siga, sleep claiming slow, the island's warmth your final hold, Twilight's quiet corner yours alone, eternal in its soft sun-drenched peace. You rest into it, body light, mind adrift in history's hush. Timeless forms surround you, white on blue, silver on green, stone on sky, clay and curve. Wisdom whispers final, respectful and profound, leading to sleep's sunlit shore. The terrace holds you a moment longer, the night deepens around you soft and warm. You feel the shift from twilight's gentle edge to night's full embrace. It comes slow, like a breath drawn long, and released even longer. You rise from the bench, your steps are soft on the stone. The path leads down to the house below. The white walls glow faint in the moon's first light. The door stands open, waiting for you. It is quiet and inviting. You enter the room. The space is simple and airy. The air inside feels cool and fresh from the open window. The curtains stir gently like a soft sigh in the stillness. You pause there, letting the room welcome you. The bed waits in the corner. It is low and welcoming, with sheets of cool linen spread smooth. The fabric looks soft, inviting you closer. You move toward it slowly, your body feeling the pull of rest. You lower yourself onto the bed. The mattress yields gently under your weight. The linen sheets are cool against your skin at first. They feel soft, like a whisper touching you. Your body sinks in, slow and easy. The linen folds around you now. It is cool where it touches, but warm from the day's memory held in the room. The sheets cradle your form with tenderness. You lie back, and the pillow feels soft beneath your head. The room settles around you, peaceful and still. You breathe now. You breathe in slow and deep. The air from the window fills your chest, cool and fresh. You breathe out, slower still. Warmth releases from within you. The rhythm feels natural, like the island's own breath. The room is still and airy. The walls are simple, whitewashed smooth. No ornament distracts you here. The space holds only what you need for this moment. It feels open, yet safe, like an embrace from the night itself. The open window lets in the night. The curtains move with the breeze, slow and gentle. The air comes cool, brushing your face like a light hand. It stirs the room softly, bringing peace with every touch. You feel the breeze on your skin. It is gentle and cool from the window. It moves across your arm, soft as a sigh. The linen shifts slightly with it, staying cool and soft around you. You let it soothe you, slow and easy. Breathe in again. The air is fresh and cool. It fills you completely. Breathe out, slow and warm. The release feels good, like letting go of the day. The rhythm holds you, steady and kind. The night outside is silent. It is profound and warm in its depth. No sound breaks the hush. The island wraps you in its quiet. You feel the silence like a blanket, soft and deep. Look toward the window. The sky unfolds above you. It is full of stars, clear and brilliant. They shine steady against the black. Each one feels timeless and serene. You watch them, and they comfort you. The stars are bright and clear. They prick the sky like diamonds on velvet. You see them one by one. Their light is warm in the dark. It falls soft through the window. You feel their gentle watch over you. Breathe with the stars. You breathe in slow. You feel their light. Breathe out slower. Let it fill you with peace. The stars hold still, brilliant and kind. They are there for you. The breeze comes through the window again. It is light and cool. It touches your face softly. It moves the curtain in a slow sway. The air feels fresh, carrying night's calm into the room. The linen sheets stay cool and soft. They cradle you as you lie there. Your body sinks deeper into them. The warmth builds from within, gentle and warm. You feel safe in their hold. Breathe in the night's air. It is cool and calm. It fills you slow. Breathe out, warm and easy. The release brings peace. The rhythm flows gentle and deep. The silence of the night grows. It is profound and warm. It fills the room around you. The hush holds everything soft. You rest in it, deep and easy. The sea whispers from a distant shore. It is gentle and rhythmic. The sound comes soft on the breeze. Wave meets sand, slow and steady. Sand meets wave, just as gentle. You hear the sea's whisper. It calls from far away. The rhythm is like your breath. In with the waves rise, out with its fall. It lulls you warm and kind. Breathe with the sea, in slow. Feel the whisper rise. Out slower, let it fall away. The sea holds you in its rhythm, gentle, peaceful, warm. The stars shine on through the window. Their light is brilliant and clear. It falls soft on the wall. You see it glow, warm in the dark. The stars watch over you, steady and serene. The breeze returns from the window. It is cool and light. It brushes your neck gently. The curtain sways slow. The air feels fresh and soothing. The linen is soft around you. The sheets stay cool where they touch. Your body feels warm beneath them. They cradle you deeper. You sink in, peaceful and still. Breathe in the night's air. It is cool and calm. It fills you slow. Breathe out, warm and easy. The release brings peace. The rhythm flows, gentle and deep. The silence of the night grows. It is profound and warm. It fills the room around you. The hush holds everything soft. You rest in it, deep and easy. The sea whispers from a distant shore. It is gentle and rhythmic. The sound comes soft on the breeze. Wave meets sand, slow and steady. Sand meets wave, just as gentle. You hear the sea's whisper. It calls from far away. The rhythm is like your breath. In with the waves rise, out with its fall. It lulls you, warm and kind. Breathe with the sea, in slow. Feel the whisper rise, out, slower. Let it fall away. The sea holds you in its rhythm, gentle, peaceful, warm. The stars shine on through the window. Their light is brilliant and clear. It falls soft on the wall. You see it glow, warm in the dark. The stars watch over you, steady and serene. The breeze returns from the window. It is cool and light. It brushes your neck gently. The curtain sways slow. The air feels fresh and soothing. The linen is soft around you. The sheets stay cool where they touch. Your body feels warm beneath them. They cradle you deeper. You sink in, peaceful and still. Breathe in the night's air. It is cool and calm. It fills you slow. Breathe out, warm and easy. The release brings peace. The rhythm flows, gentle and deep. The silence of the night grows. It is profound and warm. It fills the room around you. The hush holds everything soft. You rest in it, deep and easy. The sea whispers from a distant shore. It is gentle and rhythmic. The sound comes soft on the breeze. Wave meets sand, slow and steady. Sand meets wave, just as gentle. You hear the sea's whisper. It calls from far away. The rhythm is like your breath. In with the waves' rise, out with its fall. It lulls you, warm and kind. Breathe with the sea, in slow. Feel the whisper rise. Out, slower, let it fall away. The sea holds you in its rhythm, gentle, peaceful, warm. The stars shine on through the window. Their light is brilliant and clear. It falls soft on the wall. You see it glow, warm in the dark. The stars watch over you, steady and serene. The breeze returns from the window. It is cool and light. It brushes your neck gently. The curtain sways slow. The air feels fresh and soothing. The linen is soft around you. The sheets stay cool where they touch. Your body feels warm beneath them. They cradle you deeper. You sink in, peaceful and still. Breathe in the night's air. It is cool and calm. It fills you slow. Breathe out.